Hey there, folks. Monday, October 6th, 2025. And today was a mixed Monday. We traded both SPY, options, and small caps. So we lost on some, made on others. Remember, day trading is extremely risky. Obtain the financial advice of a professional before making any decisions or entering the market. So, quick market check. Yesterday on Sunday, I was checking the SPY and I looked at it. And what you see here, you see the channel there with the red lines, but I drew that yellow and blue broken lines because I think this is where it's going to trade. And I thought that it was resetting for a new channel. And I know that doesn't make sense because of the two red bars way down in the bottom left hand corner. But as of this morning, and after trading it and I looked at it, I think it has definitely reset. So we drew the green lines there. And I think it's going to stay on the high side of that yellow price line there. And it might come down a little bit, but I think it's going up. I don't see the SPY coming down unless there's some serious news. And the news have been good. So today we started out, this only includes the small caps. We were up $29. Took a bad trade and we lost $61 on OMD, but that SPY option gave us $66 and helped us climb back. Now here we show us a 70% winning rate, but it's offset by the fact that we had two big wins and losses. So that's sort of a failure. So I'm jumping out of order a little bit, and I wanted to show IONR. I wanted to show this trade because it was an interesting one. So IONR starts hitting the scanners. Like and subscribe if you like our content. Please leave comments below. So you see here, we didn't catch it quite at the bottom, but we caught it in time to get a little win there. Now, it wasn't much. It was a miserable $1.19, but that wasn't the point where I wanted to show it. The reason I wanted to show it is because, as you'll see what happens, we jump in. We're only looking for a few bucks at $7.64. It's quite expensive. And so we quickly get out. We don't trust it. And sure enough, what happens? Rushes out and into a halt. And after the halt at 785, the stock dumps. And something that is resonating with me right now is small wins. So the market is not up for big wins. So we have to take the small wins, go in quick, get out, and just take small wins. So that's what I'm going to do for the week after today. I think I was a little distracted trying to track the SPY option I took and playing with small caps. I think you should only do one or the other. Not that I can't handle it, it's just that it wasn't smart. So I don't know if I show here. But anyway, it comes back and it just careens all the way down. So $1.19, put it in the books, and it's there. So for our trades today, we went with a SPY option, and remember, this is extremely risky. This one was not too bad. It cost us about $230 for one contract, and at first, it was a good buy because I thought SPY would hit 672. Wasn't sure of it, but I knew it would hit 671. But it dropped. It dropped down, and we were down almost 50 bucks at one point. But we held on. So here's the buy, and this was shortly after open at 6:49 a.m. You say we bought in at 209. The stock was at 670.20, and it actually dropped down. And you can see there that the PL open is down $33 already. So we weren't doing that good, and it goes down to $50. But I had confidence from having looked at the chart yesterday and then looking at the chart this morning. And I wasn't planning on taking an option buy this morning, but it looked too good to pass up, and the price was really good. As a matter of fact, some of the prices, I think the next 670 was priced at $1.73, which would have also been a great buy. So here we're a little further along, and the price has climbed the stock price to 671.39, and I think a break even is at 671.10 or something like that. And so see our trade price for the option from 209 that we bought it, and it's now 252. So we've gone up about 40 cents, and we're up $44. You can see there on the right the PL day, and down at the bottom the equities, the stock price. We were down 27.07. So it was a good thing we were up $44, because that saved our butt today. And so we started watching the SPY, and we started watching the actual uh, option, and that we do have on video here. So remember, we bought in at 209, and you can see the chart there, and it's around 255, and then this happens, and it caught me by surprise. I didn't expect to see this squeeze up coming up, and my clock went off, so I got to fix that on OBS. So it's trying to go up and down, but at this point we're in the money. So we've got a winning option. I mean, we can sell, and the expiration on this option was today. So it would only be good until around 11 a.m. Eastern time. And when I checked at 11 Eastern time, I think the SPY had already hit 672. So we could have made a little bit more money, but we're not greedy, and we're just starting out in options, and there's possibilities. And there's a nice jump up to 262 from 209. And then all of a sudden, I think it was the AMD news that broke, that sent the SPY way up. There we go. Okay, so now once we couldn't see it from here, even though the video is running on another screen, I'm already at the option, and I'm selling it, and it sold very quickly. So I think people saw this jump, and as soon as I put it up there, it got sold. So that was great, because then I was able to take my money out, and I didn't have to hold it until 11 a.m. And then it dropped back down a little bit. Market is closed now, or at least it's after hours, and the SPY is at 671.61. So yeah, it sold off a little bit. So this was another play similar to the Nvidia last week, where we waited in the morning, we saw that squeeze up, we sold, and we got out, and that's a good profit. And that was a great scalp on the SPY, and I never thought this would be possible. But now I can see why people take options. And this wasn't very expensive. The maximum potential loss on this was $273, which isn't too bad. It's a lot less than the Nvidia contract we took last week. Nvidia options are a lot more. And OKLO, that went up to above 140 today. So that one's also doing great. But I was too scared to take that one. I'm going to continue to watch it. So here's the results of our sale. One contract at 6:49 a.m. we purchased at 209, and we sold at 8:46, almost 2 hours later, and we sold it at 275. And there you can see that relates back to that jump up there, that squeeze that we saw, and it was a nice trade. Made us $66, and that sent us into the green for the day, because on the small caps we took some a dumb trade at the end. So this was the October 6th option expiration. So you can take a option that expires on the same day, buy it, and sell it a couple of hours later, especially if it's in the money, which is great. I think there are plays here if the SPY continues on its on this road, and if news continues to be good. So we'll have to wait and see. Again, I'm no expert. I got lucky today, I think, with the AMD news, and people just started pouring into the SPY. So don't get it twisted. I'm no expert, and options are extremely risky. Do not do it by yourself. So we did good on options. Let's review what we did on small caps. And yes, the video is going to be a little long today, but I cut it down as much as I could. It was over 2 hours of stock trading this morning. And ONMD was or OMND was the first ticker. Okay, ONMD. And we thought it had potential, and we identified it as a stock that would probably move up and have a good day. And we weren't wrong. It's just that it was going to take quite a bit of a time before it would finally get up. And as I'm seeing here, it's 143 Pacific, and it's at close to 240. I closed at 256. I'm sorry, it's at 243. And it looks like it squeezed up to 350, 366 on one single bar. But that's one of the things I did not like about this stock. It was going down like this, and then pulling itself back up again with a sudden burst. But we actually did better today than we did Friday. Friday we stumbled. We lost 153 trying to trade those other tickers, and we couldn't catch it at the right time. Today, volume seemed to be a little slower, or at least on this stock. It seemed to take its time to move up and down, which was a little easier to trade. And I think that helped me, because losing $30 is not huge, especially in the small caps market that we're in. So I don't feel bad about losing the $30, because I learned a heck of a lot today on these stocks and how to approach them coming in tomorrow. And of course, the $30 is the price of admission to also learn what happened with the option, and which was great. And I didn't want to break off the videos, one for the option, one for the uh, small caps, because I don't know if people would watch them. So if it's all in one contained video, then you guys can see exactly. And there was some stress associated with this. Let me not kid you around, especially with the option, because I didn't know where we were headed, especially since it dropped. I think it dropped. So I bought it at 209, and the option dropped to about 184, I think. And then, sheesh. But I had confidence that it would move up. So here we're watching it, and I decided to hold it because, yeah, I went in early, I think, in its move up past VWAP. I shouldn't have taken that trade. I should have waited. because we know what happens. It goes up, passes VWAP, doesn't hold, falls back down, and then it comes back up again. And in the second move, it really jumps. And I think there was a mixed bag of stocks moving here and there. I think there was one stock who moved up to 35, 40 bucks SPRC this morning. So for folks who were trading at 4 a.m. Eastern, that was really, really good. Unfortunately, on Thinkorswim, we cannot trade that early in Pacific time. That would be 1 a.m. our time, and we can't. We have to wait till 4 in the morning Pacific to trade. So this becomes a waiting game, and the only reason I wait is because it is holding its own and is trying to get up to VWAP. And I'm thinking, well, the second move will surely bring some green to us. And the indicators, the MACD is looking like it's picking up. And yeah, I've got a new MACD that I'm looking at there. There was a little bit of a noise about a MACD V having better measuring. And so I installed it, and it's there above the MACD. So far, I don't see any of the benefits. The MACD I have seems to be doing well. So I'll give it one more day before I remove it. So here we start to pick up, and like I said, we go over. Yeah, and watch that. Watch this. It just looks like it. Oh, I don't have the strength. I think I'm gonna skid down. And the thing I liked about this was the number of bids and asks on the ladder. So I'm getting ready to say that's it. Yep, it's not gonna go. And so this was, I think, a losing trade. Was our first trade, and so it didn't hold. It didn't have the strength to hold and climb back up past VWAP on the second attempt. Yeah, today we did not trade pre-market. There wasn't anything that we thought was good enough, so we waited for the open. So here on this candle, it's finally time to get out. And of course, there's a lot more waiting and going in between, but this was the stock that we mostly watched. There was another one, sub-dollar ARKB, but we didn't go into that at all. It had moved up, and we were too busy watching this one. And here we are a little later, and it's moved up. And we knew this would happen. We knew eventually. So if we look back there on the left-hand side, you can see that down arrow. That's about 1, 2, 3, 3 bars we gave up there. And so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 minutes later that it picked up right off the 20 there. And look at that jump. Nice. And we were in there with 200 shares. So we cut that squeeze. We didn't do very well. I wasn't paying attention. Had I been paying attention, I would have sold at the top, but I wasn't. I was watching the option, and that's what happened. So by the time I saw that green bar move up, I said, "Oh, oops." So we didn't make as much as we could, but um, the point in this trade was that we waited. We saw the stock gained strength, and we continued to watch it. And once we saw that it was moving up and it had a good potential to the upside, we went in and we took it. And we not only did we take it, but we got out green before it started to go down again. And you see there a 2 bar pullback starts moving back up again, and we jump in again. And we're sort of looking for that second push back up, something similar to what we had. And I think that's the problem with trying to watch two trades at the same time. You can't give your full attention to one or the other, because that happened to us here again. So we were in on that squeeze up to 202. We're managing here, but not very well. So then it squeezes up to 217. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes later. Now, had we held, we probably would have gotten that squeeze up to 217, and we missed it. And here, the that doji pointing down tells us that maybe it's done. So I appreciate everyone that has subscribed. Thank you for all the good comments, the suggestions. I read every comment and I do take it to heart, and I try to implement it in my trading, because obviously there are folks out there that are a lot more experienced than I am, and I hope that the experiences I have and the journey I'm going through with this day trading 2K account helps someone out there. I mean, it only has to help one person, right? So that you guys don't wind up losing thousands of dollars. I've seen a couple of videos on a couple of guys, and uh, last week losing a lot of money, and you feel bad for them, and uh, don't let it be you. So if this helps, watch and see what it's like before jumping in, and help yourselves out a little bit so that it isn't you losing two grand in one day. So here there was a opportunity here that it was going to move up, and then our trend reversal tells us, you know what, it's time to get out, and that's been pretty spot on. Plus, I was also looking at the Zurich MACD, which is already closing, and then so here I'm just waiting for it to give me a little bit of a small profit. Typically, what happens when that trend reversal goes displays, for some reason the stock goes up a little bit, and then so we get out. So now it's a little later, and again I apologize for not having the clock. And you do see the Zurich MACD down the bottom has completely closed, but the two MACDs above it are starting to flare up. So that's why we decided to jump in again. And the Shanghai momentum oscillator is telling us that it is bullish and it's trending up. but there's a lot of candles there that appear to be having extreme difficulty moving above that 218, 217 price point. Now, at this point, I'm feeling a little bit more confident. And as you can see there in the trade ladder, my PL open on the day on the stock is $24 for this particular trade, but for the day it's only $7, $8. And as I look at my overall day, I'm not doing too bad. I'm not losing hundreds of dollars, even though my SPY option is down $33. So at this point here, I'm down about $54 on the day. And yeah, I don't feel confident. I think it was a bad Monday at this point. At least that's what's going through my head. And here, what we're looking again is just to reclaim a little bit. Hopefully, up to $2. It does. And see those moves? They're crazy. And there, we caught a little bit. This one was a little better. We managed this bar a little better. And it's quite interesting. So the trend reversal told us sell off. We didn't. We were a little bit stubborn, being the apes that we are, or that I am at least. And we held in. And maybe we should have held all of the, because it would have been what, 200, like 600 shares at 180 or 2, going up to 246 would have been nice. So anyway, we get a nice win out of this one. We're up $27, and we feel good on the day because we're pairing. Our option right now is down $30, and we're up 27. So we've only lost $3 or $4, and we're feeling pretty good. And down about the middle of the screen there's a watch list called trades. And you'll notice OMD. Yeah, look at that. I missed this one too because I was asleep. I didn't, well, the pattern is there if you see it. There's one, remember there was one to 202, 217, 237. The patterns were there that it was going to do this. But we missed it, and we're when we miss it is because we're paying attention to the other trade. So as I was saying, towards about the middle of the screen, a little bit lower, right underneath the time and sales and the level 2 is a watch list, and I call it trades. And in the trades, I put down the tickers that I am watching or the ones that I've traded. So you can see there at the bottom is RONR, $1.19. You can see the SPY option has now picked itself back up, and it's at 207, and we just hit even. The SPY is at 670 because I'm also watching the price of the SPY there. I want to see it right next to the option. And then in OMD, we're up $27. So at this point, we're up about $28 at this time. And we continue to watch OMD. Or ONMD. ONMD. And we still have $954 in cash. And look at that. And I wanted to cut all this part out because it's lengthy and it made the video really long. But I think it was important to show you guys that uh, there are opportunities here. I missed them because I'm paying attention to something else, but there was money to be had here. And the way to do it is not to jump in with a lot of shares and hold the stock for a long period of time. The idea is to watch your indicators, look for the opportunity, and then jump in and catch that squeeze up. And yeah, we made $27 on 3 or 4 trades, and we could have just as easily been a little bit smarter about our entries, taken it a little lower, and made a little bit more money rather than making 27 all at once or 23 all at once. It would have been nicer to make 12, 13, 14, 15 like that, and then stretch it out. So you have more trades, less shares, but that equates to less risk. So rather than going in with 200 and losing a hell of a lot, you go in with 10 shares and you only make $6, $7, $8, but your risk is a lot lower, especially if you don't go in with if you're just going in with a mental stop loss and not using a template. I keep promising to show you guys what the use of a template. Maybe that's what I should do. I should try tomorrow. But the problem with the template is sometimes you go into a stock and you know that it's going to pick itself back up again, and you want to hold it and let it go down and then have it come back up again because um, because of liquidity. So it needs to come back up, and it's happened to me, not all the time, probably 3 out of 10 trades I hold, it goes down and it picks itself back up again. And back in the early months of the year, January, February, and March, where I lost quite a bit of money, I was averaging, I think, 400 loss every month. That's what was happening to me. I was going in with a bracket order, and I'd be 10, 15 cents would be my stop loss. And if you're going 2 to 1, obviously you're looking for 20 cents. I couldn't get the 20 cents as it moved up, so I would let the trade go. It'd go up 8, 7 cents, and that wouldn't be my target. And then all of a sudden, it would hit all the way down and stop me out at 10 cents. And it would go down to 12 cents, and then it pick itself back up again and go all the way to 30 cents. And then by that time, I'd be out of the trade. And because of a small account, my capital was gone. So I couldn't get back in the trade again because the capital was gone. So those are the lessons I learned. I have a little bit more capital now in the account than I did back then, but that's where I started to just have mental stop. And the mental stop doesn't work all the time, especially when there's a little bit of a lag in the software. And today I did have lag. I mean, I saw the buffer, that buffer circle a couple of times in Zendu, and um, my chart appeared to freeze, which was interesting. When it freezes, the candle bar remains green, but it doesn't move. The price line doesn't move. But over on the active ladder in times and sales, that continues to move, and it's moving downwards. And I go, what the heck's happening? Which is interesting. So here we thought we'd get in again, and we sort of did a little bit of smart entry because we went in uh, when the red bar gave us a little dip, but I think the problem here was time and sales and volume. And I'm upset over the not having the clock there. I need to fix that because we traded from about 6:20, but we didn't take trades pre-market. But we were on the on maybe earlier than that, 6:10 all the way to about 8:40 and or 8:50, maybe even 9 o'clock. And, but it's important to see the time frames. So here, yeah, the demise is ominous. The Jurek MACD is closing. The bullish but trending the Shande is pointing downwards. So is the super trend, and the MACD is also pointing downward. Yeah, I think I'm not going to use that MACD V. I just don't see it being of any benefit. It doesn't. I like that white line there through the middle, but uh, so now we're down $33, $36. We've lost everything that we made, all the $30. And if we look at the watch list and the trades, the SPY is now headed downwards again, and we're down 22. But because we did make a little bit of money, we're only down 34, 35 on the day. So we're still managing our risk, and that's the reason why I continue to hold. Yeah, it's stupid, I know, but we've seen this stock 3 or 4 times just have huge squeezes up. And that's what we're hoping will happen next. I got to figure out a way to make that those watch lists a lot bigger. Maybe if I remove the watch list at the bottom, I can increase the size of the other two because it seems awfully small. I'll have to look at it on playback. But here it's obvious our trend reversal here did work because it's pointing downwards. And I think we close this down. We're hoping this was a bear trap here and that it would pick itself back up again. But overall, I think it was a good day, good experiences. I think terrific experiences, to tell the truth. And I hope you guys watching out there had great days. I had a good day. And that if you're red, you watch the episodes and the recaps, the areas where I failed, and and learn from them. Go out and practice on the simulator. And Thinkorswim simulator, I think there's an on-demand simulator that you can select a date and go to that date, but it is way too slow to be usable. And the simulators that I've used, I think only two or three of them, they seem to be better while the market is open. So uh, back when I started, I was looking. I didn't have time to trade at 6 in the morning. I didn't have time to be up, and so I was looking for a simulator that was available after hours. And there's a couple of software packages, brokers out there that do have that, but it isn't the same. It's lousy trading. You're not going to learn anything. You're not going to get the true feel and experience of what it is to trade in the market if you're using an offline simulator. You should use the simulator during trading hours, during market hours, from 9:30 Eastern to 1 p.m. Eastern, or from 6:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific, because that will give you a true feeling. You say, well, I really can't trade in the morning, so I want to trade like at from 11 a.m. onwards, whether it's Pacific or Eastern. That's great, but that'll be great because the market will be slower, but it will not give you a true sense of the speed at which how the market moves. Um, I don't know if any of you guys out there are gamers, but in games, typically what you want to do, you'll get a game with a variety of difficulty levels. You'll have the most difficult, the most senior advanced. You'll have a starter and some mid-level. Some may have more. If you start the game at the easy level, you're going to have a very, very hard time trying to get up to the higher levels. What you want to do is you want to start at the higher level, and it's frustrating, and you're going to lose, and you're going to lose a lot. But once you dominate that level, you're going to be a great. You're going to do great at the game. Not only that, when you're looking for something easy, you can stop the advanced level and move down to the mid level and do that. And as a matter of fact, you'll play the easy level and you'll be disgusted with it because it'll be too darn easy. And you will go back up to the advanced level and you'll realize that that's at the speed where you've adjusted yourself. So if you're going down a road, take the most difficult road and learn how to maneuver that difficult road, because the rest of the other roads are going to be a lot easier. So you have to go on at market open at 6:30. Give it 10-15 minutes before you jump in. Jump in only with one share, and then take a look and see how your strategies are working. That's the way to start in the market. And remember, the market changes every week, and it can change and turn on a dime on you in the same day, within a couple of hours. You could have a great morning, continue to trade, and then the rest of the day you just spiral downward. Uh, the other thing is set a max loss for yourself and make it. If you're trading with a very small account, then make it small. Make it $20, $15 to start. And once you hit that, shut down the software. Write your journal, write out to your report, review your trades, record your trades, and review them yourself. Because it makes, once you watch your trades, it makes a lot more sense when you're watching it than when you're in it. When you're in it, your brain is somewhere else, focused on other things. But after the fact, you're watching and you see what's happening and you say, wow, why did I do that? And it's helpful. It's like, remember the old days, the teacher used to make you write uh, something on the board 100 times. Repetition makes you learn. So here, You'll notice that I've set 100 limit up at around 279 there. I'm feeling confident that this is going to kick itself back up again, that it's going to squeeze up. That's the reason why I set it. And this was the longest trade I was in. I think it goes on 15 minutes. 30, 40, yeah, maybe longer. But the stock is holding. Now, that indicator there that you see that it's webbing, it's sort of turning around. But here, it sort of starts moving back up again. And you can barely see the blue of the 20 EMA there. And I'm thinking, well, maybe it'll pick itself back up again and, you know, create another squeeze back up again. So this is one of those trades where we hold. And things have changed at this time. So overall for the day, we're down $13 on this stock. But the option, the SPY option, is up $13 as well. So we've paired. Now here would have been the smart thing to get out. But we continue to hold. So I think we're into 46. We're probably into running into 8 o'clock. And so what my thought is that typically we'll see a burst at around 8 a.m. Usually I think it must be the West Coast users who come in late and jump. And I thought, well, you know what? ONMD, it's a lower price that isn't that high price, so maybe we can see a burst. And that's what we're looking for. But now it's broken the 20. It's broken the 13, and it's headed towards, I think the other one's a 34. And as I look at my trades watch list, I'm down 26 on this, but I'm up 17 on the option. So overall, it's not too bad of a day. If I wind up the day under minus $10, it's been great experience to pay $10 for the experiences I had today. I really like the trades. I didn't like the fact that I lost on the small caps, but I like the outcome, not only because it's positive, but because it gave me a little bit more confidence on options. And it on this particular stock, it helped me understand it a little better, and sort of try to gain an idea of how I should approach these small caps going forward, at least for the way the market is behaving right now. And the thing on options is I'm not going to be taking a whole lot of option uh, trades. I'm following certain stocks, right? I follow the SPY, I follow NVIDIA, and I follow OKLO. And yeah, there's some investment in NVIDIA, and that works great. But before I jump in, I have to have months of watching a stock before I jump into a stock option, a trade option, or an option trade. So the SPY, I've been watching it since I've been trading it, and I've been watching it specifically closely over the past 8 weeks to try and decide before I jump in. OKLO, the same thing. I've been watching that one for a lot less. I've been watching it for I think 2 weeks. And actually, I remember when OKLO was $20, and but I didn't start watching it until I think it hit 90. And NVIDIA, I'm always going to continue to watch. So there are options to be bought on other stocks like AMD or Tesla, but I'm not going to jump in those because I haven't been watching that stock. I need to understand its behavior before I jump in those options. So small caps is for me. We just have to do use our discipline and our strategy that we started out with, and don't let options interfere with our small cap trading, and don't let it distract us to the point where we miss opportunities. I think that's two more lessons there. So at this point, reality hits in. We're not going to hit the 279 that we were hoping. And so getting out is our option. And our spy option is up 20 bucks, 18, 20 bucks. And so we began to sell out. Yeah, time to get out. But we still have a little bit of cash. And we jump in, see what it begins to do. This is minutes later. And I think this wipes out our cash, this 100 shares. So we have no other cash. So we're hoping that this will kick up and give us $10, $12. It's all that we're looking for. Because the our SPY option is remaining in the money positive. And based on what I can see now, retroactively, uh, it was just a matter of staying with it and holding it uh, through the bat, and buying the dips. So that would have been, because this stock took all day to materialize into to be able to hit $3. All right, so I'm looking at the chart. Looks like 284 around 10:53 a.m., 323 at 1:42 p.m., 354 at 2:35 p.m., and 250 at 3:65 p.m. And it closed at 259, 256 at 4 p.m. So, yeah, this would have been a thing to buy the dips, those 200 shares, to take them at 1150, at 1242, and maybe even at 951 at the open, and then let it climb and then sell them all. 600 shares would have been a nice profit. So here starts having a little bit of difficulty. So we set up a limit sell. We think it has strength to hit 245. It already did. And that would give us 12 bucks. And our SPY option is at $18 so far. So we're minus 28 on this one. So we're only $10 on the day off. So here we're somewhere between 8 and 8.45. That's what I estimate. Gotta get that clock fixed right away. There's a bit of a pullback. I've been thinking about doing live trading, but uh, that would be extremely long. 2.5 hours seems awfully long. So we like that bar there, and it starts to pick itself up. And this is what we saw all day from this stock. And it's actually a good stock to practice on with one share because it's moving a lot slower than a full market would. This is not the full market. From January to March, uh, a stock like this would have traded twice as fast. You wouldn't have had any time to jump in and out. Or maybe I've adjusted to the speed as well. Okay, so we have a very busy day, and we're finally getting the video out, the recap. We only got a few minutes more. Less than 4 minutes to go for this nightmare to end. No, just kidding. So the way we played this was we've got our sell limit up there. We don't think at this point that it's going to hit it, especially after that red bar. So we sell 50 off, trying to mitigate our risk. We're still up $3.98, $3.50 on the trade. And there's a double top right there. You see the two red bars. But it doesn't look like it's going to make it. All right. Thank you all for watching. If you got this far of the video, I commend you. And have a happy trading day.